Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 5 with a little bit of a challenge, kind of a mini tournament almost, if you will. For this, we are going to be racing a car in a bunch of different classes. There's a vehicle that starts off in C class, it's going to be raced in C class, modified to the top of C class, and then in B class, and then A class, and then A class off-road, all using the same vehicle. The only rules for it was they have to use the standard driveline, so if it's a rear-wheel drive car like my Lexus here, it has to stay rear-wheel drive and has to use the standard engine, unless it is incapable of getting to the top of the class that it's going to, which is something that I come up against with the Lexus later on. We're starting off though with C class. Now, me and Hyper both managed to have the same idea of running the Lexus, but we've gone down pretty different routes with our build. C class, you don't get much room to play with here. Most of these cars are going to probably have a little bit of power, a little bit of weight reduction, and that's kind of it. Most are probably running on standard tyres. Some might have gone street tyres, because everything here starts in C class, so it's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out. I've not driven this Lexus before. This is why I picked this car is because it's new to the game, I think. Might have been in one of the earlier motorsports, I don't remember. So yeah, I figured I'd have a go with this. I'm not sure we're going to be running at the front, but I don't really know what I'm doing with the builds on this game. It seems I'm kind of struggling to find what I want with the cars and getting them working. So who knows what we've got going on here. It might work, it might be terrible. I feel like I might be a little underpowered in this class. We're at 220 horsepower, which, okay, is not terrible, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. The worst thing for me is I'm stuck immediately behind Danger Man with an Aston Martin that is all power and no handling, and Speed Beast, who is in a Monaro that is also all power and no, as in relative terms, all power, so you don't get much room to upgrade them, but they are going to be more focused on the straight line speed aspect. Can I duck underneath the Aston Martin here, hoping I can just take a tighter line and get this pass completed? Don't get me wrong, I love a DB5 as much as anybody else, I just don't want to be stuck behind one for ages during this race. Okay, we can keep the Aston. I actually got quite a slidey car when pushed hard, and me and Hyper have done exactly the same thing through that. Right, so this corner here is very quick. I like this section. It's a good sequence of corners. All the Lexuses are battling. Friendly fire has got on, and the Aston Martin's going to dive to the inside. We're going to try and cut underneath, which we do successfully here. We move ourselves up into 8th. We're not having an amazing race particularly, but we're going to see what we can do. Can I pull? If I can get clear of the Aston, and yeah, try and go chasing after this group ahead. That would be helpful here. I'm going to go down to second. I feel like my gears are a little bit long. We're playing a little bit of pinball, which I don't want to be doing. That's costing me lap time. You don't want to be wall bouncing. Never a good way to go. We may well get the Daytona here as well. Of course, the big boat of a car is not going to be enjoying life particularly. Here we go, Lexus. Come on. We know we can do. We know we've got great speed in the final section. I know my top end is a bit pants here, but we can get to the inside, and we will make that pass stick. The Eclipse is out wide and brushes the wall. Of course, all-wheel drive won't matter here. All-wheel drive in the A-Class off-road part is going to be, yes, that will be nice for the 3 cars that have it, Celica, Eclipse, and Cozzy, I think, up ahead. That might not have quite been the best line into this first sequence of corners, but it's still pretty good. It's a big old tussle going on up ahead. Second, yeah, it feels so weedy, this car. I've got to say, it does feel like it struggles a little bit around here. It's got the pace. I mean, we started from so far back in this race. It's not really helped us. We've had to battle with everybody so far as we're trying to work our way up through the field. I've hit that wall 3 times out of 3. Wonderful stuff. Is it the Dino that's got to the lead of the race? I think it is. No, it's Dino's battling with the Corsa. Then we've got the Escort Cosworth. Then we have the Celica is holding up the Skyline and the Eclipse a little bit, I think, in this one. And if we can get a good run, we may well get into this fight. We're well clear of everyone else. So obviously my Lexus is a little bit happier than Hyper's with this. So you can go different ways about building. You don't get crazy options in C-Class, but there are different options, different ways you can go about it. If you so choose, and yeah, mine is seemingly working quite nicely. Can we get Ewan for 6th? Considering how much time we lost at the start, honestly, I wouldn't be too disappointed. Actually, I'm not disappointed with this race either, considering how far back we have to come from. We've clearly got pace. We don't quite have the pace of the top 2, which is... Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting this thing to be a world beater. You never know when you build cars. Sometimes you build a vehicle and it actually turns out to be unbelievably fast. I didn't really get the feeling that this was going to be the case with my Lexus. However, it has done better than expected. Especially if we get a couple of cars on the final lap, that would be nice. Just don't know if we've quite got the pace to do it. And so yeah, we're flat out of all of these corners, and there's no wheel spin in my car. I've just got max width standard tyres. So the all-wheel drive, I mean, okay, it's helpful off the line. It might have its advantages. They're not that great around here. They'll come in handy perhaps elsewhere and later on in this little championship, so to speak. But around here, not so necessary. Can we get past Ewan? Oh, Blakey bumped the wall. We may well get Ewan. Can we get Blakey around the outside into turn 1? Oh, it was ambitious. I've tried to close down. The only good news is I've blocked Ewan. So we're not going to have a Ewan shoving the nose past. Come on, Lexus, carry the momentum. Come on! Come on! You weedy bugger! Still stuck on the outside of Blakey here. Not going to make that one stick there. We're better off trying to cut underneath, but then it's the outside for this corner. No, Blakey's hit the wall and lost too much time. Ewan's having a look with a better run through there. And that fighting's really lost touch. Oh, I think Blakey may have missed a checkpoint trying to dive to the... Oh, no, Blakey's disconnected. Never mind. About to say, I thought Blakey might have missed the checkpoint, but no, that was just the disconnecting. Oh, no, Ewan has got to the inside and snuck that one back past. That was actually a really good overtake. I wasn't quite prepared for that, although we're about to go do the same thing again to the brown machine. Yeah, I am alongside here, and we're going to put the nose there. It's going to be side by side for the final couple of corners. How brave dare you be through all of this? Ewan's going to get it, I think. Although, no, because we've got good momentum on the outside. It's going to be really close. I think Ewan's just got it. We were both swapping paint, trying to make sure we at least made checkpoints along there. I should have covered that inside better. It's just my battle with Blakey just put us out of position a little bit, and then Ewan did a really good job of capitalising on that one. Yeah, the Corsa was monstrously fast. My car was not great. It was good enough. It was good enough to sit. We were right in the battle. I'm pleased with that sort of drive through the field. Yeah, could have been a lot worse. The Corsa was damn quick, though, and it takes victory in round number 1. We move on to B-Class next, and I've gone a route with my car. I don't know if it's going to work. Basically, I've gone full grip. I've gone full weight reduction. I've got semi-slick tyres on the car. I've got aero on the car. We've only got 10 more horsepower than our C-Class version. I'm not sure if this plan might work on a very specific circuit, some of the really, really technical circuits. This track is, I mean, it's got corners, definitely, which the grip's going to be helpful. I think I'm going to be down on top speed. It's a gamble, what I've gone for here. I genuinely don't know if it's going to work. I think it'll be too slow, or lap time wise, it might be quick enough. Wow, Stevie's even slower than me. Someone's slower than me in a straight line. That's definitely not right. That's got to have crazy, insane levels of grip. Yeah, it's a gamble. It's a route to take. I mean, we're still kind of learning a little bit what you can and can't get away with in terms of builds here. We're going to be on the outside, which I don't want to be on the outside of a Daytona. It's a very big car. Oh, God, bloody hell. We're being bopped around in this one. Alright, we've got so much grip in this, we'll just sit around the outside and stuff. I can't go too far to the inside because there is stones on the ground. They're really annoying to see, really difficult to see as well. Can we get past Stevie? We're trying to pry the door open a little bit there. Not going to work. You know what, we'll just cut back underneath. Jeez, the speed that I can take through that corner is ridiculous. I can sense already this might be a bit of those infuriating races where we've got oodles of speed that we simply cannot use anywhere. If I sit in the toe, it might not be too bad. So one thing that is different on Horizon 5 from previous games is aero has a way bigger effect on top speed. Now, it's always slowed the cars down. On this, according to the benchmark, how it actually works on the vehicle, I'm not 100% sure, I've not tested it fully, will be coming in a video later, but it loses about 20-25 miles an hour off the estimated top speed by running Forza Aero. That's a big chunk. Now, I'm hoping I can gain a what I lose there I gain in corner speed, and this thing is definitely quick through the turns. But I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. The Corsa is fast here as well. It's not as quick over the rest of the field as it was at that first race. It's not disappeared off. Yeah, it's going to be really annoying for me, this one. We've got so much speed in that final corner, I can't use it. The Civic's right with me. I think the Civic's got a similar route to me. Well, if it's as slow as me down the straight, it's got to have got a similar route to me. It's got aero running. It's probably on the semi-slick tyres. The Dino can think about it, but look at the gap we can suddenly gain on the cars ahead just through turn 1 alone. But where do you find a way past? It's actually a very close field at the front. We've got very, very different cars going on. Oh, back end got a bit squirrely there, which does surprise me. I wasn't expecting to see the back end moving around so much on these tyres. The problem I've got is I want to be, I want to find a way past these cars ahead, but I don't want to lose out to the cars behind. We've definitely got more pace than Danger Man here. We can go to the outside. Danger Man's just not got the grip to do that. The Dino's going to have a dive. This is so frustrating. Just want to get past the Aston Martin at this point. We are clear now, and if we can stay ahead of this one, we can maybe go chasing after the Sleeker down to turn 1. You want to go around the outside of me, good luck. We've got probably the most grip of anything in here, and sure enough, the Dino's got great speed as well. I think is seriously quick. In some ways, I'm more scared of the Dino than I am of any of the other cars around here. It's not that much worse off than me in terms of grip. It is, but it's not that much, but it is faster than me down the straights. We've got a couple of laps to try and make some ground. I mean, now we've actually got a little bit of track to ourselves. We can really make the most of the Lexus's grip. Look at that. So much speed can be taken compared to the Escort, compared to the Celica. It's just, where do you find a pass? Where do we find a way to overtake these cars? Around the final corner somewhere? Look at that. That's so annoying. It's so annoying. Like, I've done this before. I've driven these cars before. I knew it was always going to be a problem. If you want to go past, you're going to have to go the long way around, Dino. And you've got there fair. It got there, like I chased it across the road, and then when I realised I couldn't chase it anymore, you have to give it a little bit of the space. We'll chase it as much as we can, and we have got the grip to do that. And it's only because I have got such immense grip in this car that I can get away with that. And in the end, the Dino just knew it wasn't going to be able to outbrake me. Right, let's chuck you in with loads of speed through here. Avoid the stone because they're not cleared out of the way for us. The Civic's found a way past. Yeah, I mean, this lap, because of all the mess at the start, we've fallen back from the Celica. We'll actually finally get a run around this final corner. I don't know how fast I can take it, but the answer is very. Jeez. So much grip. I like it, though. Yeah, that worked better than I thought it was going to. I'm curious about lap times, but we didn't really get a run on our own. It was really close between everyone. A whole bunch of very different cars were running closely there. Yeah, we definitely had speed with the Lexus. 56.5. I don't know whether we could have matched the Corsa. I feel like we could have maybe matched the Corsa and the Escort, not sat in traffic. Actually, really, really busy in the mid-pace. Everyone's in the 56s. Yeah, that's really bloody close. Well, that was an interesting race. That did better than I thought. I really worried that was going to be a bit of no man's land for the Lexus, but that, yeah, was not too terrible. Of course, it gets another victory. That is proving very quick indeed. We move up to A-Class for the next race. We have got a bit more power. I'm still on the semi-slick tyres on this vehicle, so same compound that we ran in B-Class, 440 odd horsepower here. Got rid of the aero. I haven't got aero running on this car. I don't know how it's going to work out around this one. I really don't. So far it's been better than I kind of thought it might be, so let's hope that trend continues. We're still starting a long way back. The Corsa may start to struggle a little bit with the power. It shouldn't be too bad in A-Class. A-Class is not normally, not that bad for front-wheel drive. We will see. It's not going to be as good off the line as the Eclipse or the Celica. Those vehicles. Ewan's car was very slidey on the launch. We should have, I would expect quite a few of these cars are going to be running similar tyres to me. Whether they're full race slicks, whether they're semi-slicks, I don't know, but I'm going to expect quite a few are going to be running these sort of tyres. There's going to be quite a lot more grippy cars potentially here. We are out of turn 1 relatively well. It's kind of quite twitchy. Well, actually, I say it's tendency to slide around. I think that is to do with the fact it doesn't actually get very big tyres. There are only 255s at the rear. The Corsa 8, the tyre bundle. So yeah, this doesn't have very big tyres for an A-class car. I'd normally run much bigger, and I would, I mean, given the chance, I'd run much bigger. But yeah, 255s, not very big tyres at all here, so it does have a tendency to want to slide around. The Daytona's going to get hung out wide. Oh, I apologise on that one. I swear that corner was, I thought that corner was more open than it was. That's, yeah, not what we really wanted. We've actually got a half decent amount of top end. We're going to get a little bit boxed in here. I've got nowhere to go. We'll just have to lift and wait. I got more top end than I thought I was going to through there. They can battle side by side. The Aston Martin got on the dirt and slid and lost some time. We are down towards... It's not really the first corner, big braking zone. Maybe the Aston Martin's on slicks. That would maybe explain the straight line speed difference down there. So yeah, that might explain why I got such speed difference and why it's so struggling through. I didn't know whether Blakey was going to be in ghost mode there or not, so that was a bit unhelpful really. The Monaro is around the outside. That's a good pass from the Holden. Yeah, that was not really ideal for... It was not really ideal for me because I just didn't know how to deal with the Celica going on there. Right, let's go and see what we can do. Definitely think the more grip would be helpful around this track. I suspect some circuits by car would work. Here, maybe not quite so much. Because, yeah, we have got that good straight line speed. It's just not enough grip in the mid-sector. I mean, I was a little compromised this time around, which certainly didn't help matters. I don't know, I'm never really that confident in the middle sector of this lap. Just always struggled a little bit getting it. When you get it right, it's great, but have struggled a bit to get it spot on for every time around. Right, let's try and not slide the car about, not end up out wide, and see what we can do through here. Yeah, I mean, I like this section of the circuit. It's just easy to lose time, and I just don't quite have the same grip as some of the vehicles that we are up against. I mean, I'm very concerned about the next race because I mean we're sliding around with 400 horsepower, 440 I think it is. We're going to have a lot more next time. Is that the hurry up noisemaker from Blakey or Rusky? One of those two. Corsa's looking to the inside. The Corsa's struggling a little bit more around here than it has done in previous ones. The Daytona's missed a checkpoint. We barrel up towards the big braking zone once again. We've sort of settled into this position. We might have to defend off from a Corsa for a final couple of laps. I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to defend from it. We'll have to wait and see. It's just, yeah, this section, combination of me not driving it very well and perhaps struggling a little bit. Maybe we should have gone with aero with this build. I say who knows. It's easy to say that now. Corsa's going to try and brave the outside here. That is brave. It's a long way round, and the corner naturally fires you. I find anyway that corner kind of naturally spits you out wide as you go around it. So it is a gamble when we don't really know these cars very well. I don't intentionally want to feed cars into the wall, but sometimes you just misjudge how much speed you can take through a corner like that. Is Speed Beast going to have the momentum to have a look at the Aston Martin? We get all crossed up over the dirt. Speed Beast is thinking about it. Down here, can't quite do it. Third on the exit, I think we do. We can get away with third and drive off the corner nicely. I can hear a Corsa behind me. That's having a look around the outside there. But this time around we're a little better. Just don't hit the tyre through there. The Corsa are going to have to follow us through this section. I was hoping to be close enough to Speed Beast and so on if they made a mistake, but I'm not. Longbow may have missed a checkpoint and has fallen back. I don't know. Not paying attention. The Escort Cosworth has seemed fast. Oh, too fast for me. I've beansed it. Everyone kind of soaring past. So I say sorry, Brusky. Not intentional to block the Corsa. We just ended up in trouble. Again, had to get the checkpoint. All the positions have gone away at the end, and unfortunately, it cost Rusky as well because I just ran in too quick through there. And yeah, Not quite the car for that one. Weirdly, that was the car I thought might not be too... That was the one that I thought would have been better in comparison. The others have been much better than that. Yeah. Not the best. I'm not the best at that circuit. Definitely didn't feel the most. I mean, it's not the worst car in the world. I just didn't feel massively comfortable with that one around there. It's perhaps a little too sketchy in places. But yeah, there we go. We're in a good fight for the majority of that one. Something different is the Eclipse up at the front with the Dino and the Skyline up there as well. We're on to the final round, where things are going to get a little bit crazy. Probably quite a lot of people is going to get a little bit crazy here. We head into the final race of this, and I'm going to have a tough time here, I suspect. Which, I mean... We start the backs probably for the best. I have 968 horsepower going through the rear wheels of a car that was quite slidey to begin with. The three four-wheel drive cars are going to enjoy this round. The Celica, the Eclipse, and unfortunately for Longbow is in 11th, while the other two all-wheel drive cars are on the front row. Not so good for the Cozzy. Yeah, I have the... straight six racing engine. Now I know Hyper's got the quad rotor in the other of the Lexus I, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be a lunatic machine that gets to a corner and has a panic because it can't use any of its power and tiptoes around. And then there's a lunatic machine again where it gets to a straight. This is quite a bumpy circuit in some places, which is probably not going to work in my favour. I would just like a straight line, to be honest with you. Oh god, because it is really carefully does it, and then unleash all of the fury from the car. I can't even remember what suspension I have this on. I hope I put it on rally suspension. There has been a crash between something. I'm not even sure what had an accident there. You can see Hyper's got a different route to me in all of this one. The thing's got race aero parts on it. I'm not sure I have got my car on rally suspension. I don't know how I forgot that. Maybe I do. I don't know. Hyper's looks much higher than mine, but I could be wrong. This thing is ferociously quick down the straights. But that's, yeah, not going to help when I've got to try and get it turned into the corners. We're going to have a little bit of a lift through there and kind of not do anything stupid. Oh, Ewan's off the barrier. Don't know if Ewan got a squish against the barrier or quite what happened there, but that's Skyline pointing the wrong way. I'm not making that corner either. Alright, unleash 900 horsepower and then brake really early because I've got to try and make turn one. Oh, that was better. Yeah, just early on the brakes I think is going to be the way to go with this car. Just early on the brakes. I mean, we're against something that's equally dumb. A quad rotor in one of these is also a dumb idea in some regards. I mean, fun, but also silly. Come on, Lexus, find some traction. Oh, things are going out of control a little bit for me. Didn't really like that section. We're in all sorts of trouble down the bottom. The only good news for me is Hyper is in as much trouble as I am. May have missed a checkpoint. Looks like they have done, and they are out of contention for the moment. We're up to 6th by virtue of having not missed a checkpoint and or spun. This might have been a bit of a meaner. So I went to this track because it's somewhere we haven't raced around. I know we've not raced around many of these circuits very much, but yeah, I figured we've not really raced around this one all that much. So let's go to this track, and it's a tough one for these cars. I don't know whether these like medium speed is that better or worse for the vehicles. Not sure. Like slow speed, you have to deal with the traction zones a lot more with the very powerful cars. I don't know whether that's worse than this. There's definitely sort of 2 races going on. Well, 3 races, and me in the middle of both races. We've got 1st to 5th are kind of sort of close together, and then you've got 7th back, who also have all managed to end up in a line behind me, while we're just sort of sat here clinging on until inevitably, like there is a certain inevitability that this car is going to bite. I'm either going to miss a checkpoint or I'm going to spin. It's, yeah, difficult to drive. Kind of has a mind of its own sometimes. It sort of decides it wants to wander, and I only have a the vaguest of inputs to tell it to stop wandering around. Right, let's get slowed down here. Oh, we're going to get caught by Danger Man. I think Danger Man may have missed a checkpoint, perhaps with Aston. I don't remember going past it. So, yeah, I think that may well be a missed checkpoint. I don't think I've got much to fight against it with, outside of blinding straight line speed. That's about all I do have to fight against it, yeah, just put your foot down when we get to a straight and hope it can't get past in the corner. I think I'm just trying to keep my car pointing the right direction. It's almost like I'm not really racing at the moment. It's just survive, make it till the end, hope others make mistakes. That's what we've got going on here. Yeah, I think Danger Man may have missed a checkpoint somewhere along the line. The speed at which that's caught up suggests that he's way out of position being back there. So we are going to be a little bit of a slide through there. Try and get on the power here, which we do. Oh, Danger Man has made a mistake, slid wide and hit the wall back there. That might be enough for me. No, it's not going to be enough for me if we do that. Oh, we caught it. I hope we got the checkpoint. We did just, but I had to throw the car at the checkpoint. Yeah, it was my turn to get in trouble over the crash. Just lost the back end at a very critical moment. Yeah. Just concede. Don't waste time chasing a 6th place and lose a bunch of places behind for no good reason. That would be foolish. This thing is horrible to drive. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the worst thing I've driven off-road. It has got the right sort of tyres for it and that kind of thing. It's just, I don't know. There's something. I'm wondering whether there's something wrong with the suspension. I feel like I might have forgotten rally suspension. I don't know why. It feels very uncomfortable. Whether it's just it's so savage in terms of the power and all that. It's just not happy with what it's being asked to do. But we will see. We got one more time around here. Let's not do anything stupid. Let's focus on, again, it's just make clean lap times. There are much smaller tyres than the Daytona behind us. We're not going to be able to compete with it on traction. So we're going to have to hope. We will be lighter than the Daytona, I would think, about 2,800 pounds, something like that in this car. So yeah, if we can keep the composure, not spin it over these crests like I nearly did last lap. Danger Man almost got into trouble there. Has got it all together for the next checkpoint, which we are going to be fine through as well. We can slide the car a little bit there, that's fine. Make sure we get it stopped for this one. Oh, a little too late on the brakes. Whoops. Oh, come on, get going again. Put that power down. Yeah, it's very... I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one to drive. It's kind of floaty in places that I wasn't really expecting from the car. I was expecting it to be difficult, wheel spinny and that kind of thing, but yeah, it's quite floaty in these medium speed corners, which is a bad news when almost all the corners are medium speed corners. I feel like stop-start would actually not have been as bad as I initially expected. Oh god, we at least got the checkpoint there. The Daytona's behind us. It won't match us for speed towards the line. We will cross the line and hold on to the position. Yeah, it was always likely to be difficult. It was always likely to be difficult around there. God dear. We're a mad machine. Didn't really see what was going on at the front. The Escort we come through to take victory came from 11th on the grid all the way up to the front. The Eclipse in second ahead of the Celica. The all-wheel drive car is always likely to be quick there. My fastest lap time wasn't as far away as I thought it was going to be, if I'm honest there. But there we go. Yeah, the Lexus not completely terrible. The Lexus... Not completely rubbish. I feel like A-Class, it would work at some circuits with that build, but I should have maybe gone for a bit more grip. It wasn't terrible to drive, it just couldn't match the other cars there. This A-Class, I don't want to do that game. Thank you. The rally build was wacky, was over the top and didn't really work. It was the only way to get it to top of A-Class with these tyres on it being rear-wheel drive and such tiny rear tyres. It was just I could keep adding and yeah, it's not quite so suited to that. The lower classes though were surprisingly good. The crazy full handling build in B with no power worked way better than I thought it was going to. So yeah, there we go. This is always an interesting little challenge to see what the vehicles will do in terms of sort of continuity. But there we go. There'll probably be a leaderboard or something coming up in a second, and we will see. I know I've not won, but we'll see who has won this overall. So, on to our kind of little leaderboard, if you will. Rusky would take victory with the Corsa tied on points with Longbow's Cosworth. The Vauxhall would win by virtue of 2 victories to the Escort's 1. Yeah, it was close. It was very close over the top. Ollie would get 3rd with the Eclipse, and considering that disconnected from a race and it's only 4 points down, it was very close indeed at the top of the table. Glisco would take 4th with the Dino ahead of Blakey's Celica. Well, Blakey, Celica, Ewan's Skyline and my Lexus were all very, very close indeed. My Lexus, I mean, it did better than I thought it might do. It scored better at the lower class events. We started getting up to A class. It was quite silly. Danger Man would get 8th with the Aston Martin ahead of Speed Beast's Monaro, Amy's the Charger, Stevie with the Civic down in 11th ahead of Hyper with the other Lexus. The Lexus weren't the strongest car, I guess, for this one. It was a fun challenge. As I said, I enjoyed this sort of a challenge. My Lexus, the A-Class build, I went slightly the wrong direction with it. It just didn't quite suit that circuit. I don't think that was a terrible car overall. I just think that track required a little bit more grip than I had with that vehicle. Off-road, it was always going to be a nightmare. Way too much power, not enough tyre. It was silly. It was a laugh to drive. That was an incredibly challenging circuit, I have to say, for vehicles with the off-road racing there. But yeah, the build at the lower end actually worked way better than I thought it was going to with the Lexus, which I'm always happy about. I think I went a little bit more, I say, extreme with the builds in some places, and I think that might have been what suited or what made it work a little better. It's never quite going to match the likes of the Corsa. I think it's just incredibly strong at a lot of these events. But yeah, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. It was a fun little challenge, though, to try and make a car work in all the different environments. May well come back to it at some point in the future as well. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.